Hey guys, Four-Eyed Piper. VR Monday, the 7th of January. Doing a ton of VRs today. I saved some of the more, maybe the deeper VR questions for my later videos. Deeper in my bowl. Deeper into my coffee cup. This VR goes out to Pipes, etc. Just discovered your channel, my friend. Just discovered it. Started going back into your videos that you've had, that you've produced. Love your presentation style. Love it. I love it. Just the tone of your voice as you're presenting, the way that you present, it feels like I'm watching an actual produced television show while I'm watching your videos. It's pretty cool. I wonder, because you're so spot on, if you've pre-scripted your videos. And when you see this, maybe shoot me an email, foureyepiper@gmail.com, and let me know the secret, because it always seems so crisp and well done. And maybe that's just your mind and the way that you speak and present. I don't know. But I'm in awe of your presentation style, and I hope to one day be as confident and cool and crisp as you are as I present in my channel. As it is right now, I'm pretty sloppy, and I go off the cuff, and I do not pre-script, and I still don't know what I'm going to say. So you asked a few things for your giveaway, and congratulations, my friend, on your anniversary in the YTPC. Your channel obviously is very successful. So I wrote down some questions that you asked. So you asked, what worries us the most about the future? What do we want our legacy to be, or what do we want to leave behind? And top 3 adventures that are still on our bucket list. I don't know if you intended on us, answering all 3 questions, but I'm going to, because I think it's important that we talk about these things. And recently, I put out a video that kind of addresses some of my thoughts on these, because I'm in a point in my life where I'm sorry for the dog. I'm in a point in my life where I need to establish goals for maybe the second major chapter. And because you don't really know me yet, I'll kind of set the stage. I'm 32. I have a beautiful wife, a lovely home. I've achieved a goal position in my job that I've been chasing for about 10 years. Last year, 2018. In 2018, we welcomed my daughter into our family, and now I have a boy who is 2.5, and my daughter is about to be a year old in February. So I've checked things off my checklist, the things that I thought were steep, nigh unattainable goals. I did not think that I would have. If you had asked me 10 years ago if I thought I'd be here in 10 years, I would have absolutely not said yes. I'm very happy. My life is wonderful and feels very complete right now. And I'm a firm believer that you need to always be chasing something. You always have to be reaching for that next goal, trying to get to the next milestone. And all of these things kind of came together in 2018, and I haven't really figured out entirely what those next milestones are going to be. I mean, certainly making more money and eventually moving into a bigger house and those types of things. Yeah, those are all goals. But I think, you know, those are everybody's goals, and I want something more than that. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. Anyway, that's all to say that I've been reflecting a lot on where I am in life and what the rest of my life is going to look like. I have about 35 more years to work, and hopefully, hopefully, I'm 32. Hopefully, I've got about 58 more years to live, because my goal is 100. And maybe with advances in technology beyond. We'll see. A lot has happened in 20 years, 30 years. You never know. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It's sleeting out here. I'm going to pull this a little closer. So, let's talk about the future. What worries me the most? And I think as a new parent, the life that my children are going to live worries me. I'm not talking politically. That's always going to be a worry. Where our country is going and what it's going to look like in 20, 30, 40, 50 years. The landscape of politics is very volatile right now. But I don't want to get into that. I think socially, society worries me. I work for a company where I have 300 plus employees that report to me, and 5 different generations of employees that report to me, which is very interesting right now. There's a huge cross section of our society that I get to see every single day, and younger generations. I hate to make blanket statements, and I'm not going to, but younger folks have very different thoughts and values and ideas. All can be good things, but they definitely, in some ways, contradict the way that I was raised and the belief system that I have, and the values and the things that I hold sacred. So the thing that worries me the most is that I won't be able to relate to my children when they get to be that age. And I hope to always be able to do that. And I hope to be fluid and flexible and adaptable as my kids get older. But it worries me that I'm going to eventually not be as flexible. And I can feel myself slipping into that stage of my life where technology and social media and all of that seem to be more and more of a mystery to me as we continue down this path. And I need to do my homework. So that's the answer to your first question. My legacy. What do I want to leave behind? Well, certainly my children are a big piece of my legacy. My work, too, and that's something that I've tasked my managers to think about, is what kind of legacy do they want to leave behind? What kind of footprint do they want to place in the path as it relates to our jobs? Certainly, we can talk about life, but I kind of want to frame it in terms of who I want to be professionally, because we're going to talk about other things personally. So professionally, I think about this all the time. We spend so much time at work that's a huge piece of our identity. It's a huge piece of my identity, certainly. So it's hard to answer this very concisely, but I'll try. And if you want to know more, certainly you can reach out and we can talk. You know, I've had managers in the past who I could say were quote unquote old school. Tell it like it is. We have a term in our profession, cooler talks, and that was to illustrate that. That would be you screwed up in some way. Your manager would take you in the cooler and tell you all about it in a very not so PC way, and that's not the way it's done. You know, we definitely pay a lot more attention to how people feel about themselves and in the way that they work. So you know, when I was coming up through the ranks, there were definitely a lot of cooler talks going on. There was definitely a lack of respect, not so PC. And you know, I came up as a butcher, a meat cutter, that kind of thing. So that kind of environment was, you know, pretty rough and tumble. That's not the type of person I am. Certainly learned a lot from those experiences, and I want people to, you know, when I'm gone, tell stories about my kindness and my understanding and compassion, and I hope that people will think that I was someone who always listened and cared about people personally, not that they were just my employees. You know, there's more thought that I need to put into that, and I wish I could verbalize all the things that I hope my legacy will be, and maybe a later video will capture that. But for now, I think that's good. And I hope my kids feel the same way about me, that I was understanding and compassionate, that I allowed them to be individuals, and I didn't try to control them. So, yeah. All right. And the last, because this is getting to be very long, the last question you asked were the top three adventures that were still on my bucket list. So, we never went on a honeymoon. So a honeymoon is definitely on my bucket list for me and for my wife. Hopefully, we're not struggling to complete that before the end of things. That hopefully will happen in the next few years. My wife would definitely like to go to Ireland. Again, she's been there. I've never. I think that would be on my bucket list, to be able to take her to Ireland. I would like to do some salmon or halibut fishing in Alaska. That would be on my bucket list. Definitely always been a dream of mine. In the last, my bucket list. Man, I need to think about these things a little bit more. Obviously, I told you earlier I need to establish some greater goals. I'll have to get back to you. I'm going to leave that one. I'll leave that one blank. I'm sorry, and you can disqualify me if you like, but I'm going to leave that one blank, and I'm gonna circle back around. So, thank you for the opportunity to do this video. I'm glad I got to talk about some of these things. I hope you guys learned a little bit about me. Hopefully, you and I have some more interaction. And I'm ashamed to say I don't know what your first name is, sir. Pipes, etc. is your channel. Congratulations on your channel, my friend. And hopefully more to come in 2019. I hope I see more of you, and maybe you'll even see a little bit more of me. So thank you, and for now, we'll see you next time.